So we're still recovering from our hangovers from 8 days ago. What? 4 days?
We can thank our other sister, Danielle,
Woo!
who made us go to 4 bars and have 5 strong drinks.
I think we went to 5 bars.
We went to 5 bars?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we went to the, not downtown, not to triangulate our location, and then we went to the fish place, and then we went to 7-Eleven, which wasn't a bar, and then we went to the college-type bar, and then we went to...
The fancy bar.
That's 4. Never mind.
But we ended the night with, like, tequila or, like, scotch with a bunch of, like, people who were in their 60s. What were we thinking?
I don't remember.
Oh, my God.
You and I tried to take a nice photo, and literally, like, my eyes are, like... like, they're not open. At all.
I knew that photo would be bad. You're like, Bridge, we gotta take that photo.
I was like, look at this tree. We gotta do it. Meanwhile, there's like a wall of wine bottles next to us.
I was like, Katie, I'm holding you up right now. I don't think this will look good. You're like, come on, we got this. And then the whole bar sang Danielle happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And that was really fun.
Oh, I love it. It was a great time. Happy birthday, Danielle. We love you.
Well, and getting to hang out with Danielle and our brother Jimmy. I just want to give a shout out to Jimmy's best friend, John.
Woo!
Who's a loyal listener, and Jimmy continues to tell us. And John, you could ask Jimmy why he's such a wuss and won't come on the podcast.
Whoa.
That's
peer
right.
Pressure.
I put it down.
We do like peer pressure here, so yes.
Well, just a little. Just your brother.
Only if it's positive.
Yeah.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hello
There.
Happy holiday. The song's not in this movie. That's just what I always say. Yeah.
Was that it?
Like
You're the musician. You're better at that.
Well, there's a YouTube channel I watch who made up lyrics to the song, and that's what I think of, where they go, "We will get you, Kevin. We will send you to heaven."
Wow, that's
and I'm
terrifying.
Like, that's scary, but it works. Anyway, welcome back, listeners. I hope you're still here.
Welcome back.
Okay, so we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where 2 sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Okay, Uncle Frank needs a restraining order because I'm worried about everybody around.
This is a horrible family.
Bridget, not to bring it up again, because I know you've joked about this at the end of our Die Hard when I was like, we're doing Home Alone. And our cousin Dave, shout out Dave, was like, wait, why? You did the second one, but you didn't do the first one? And then you pointed out, well, that's because Katie aggressively said the second one is way better. And I'm sorry, I stand by it, and I do have notes. And I will be comparing why I have confirmation confirmed the second one is better.
Well, what is the movie, Kate?
Oh, oops, it's Home Alone, #1.
From 1990, starring Macaulay frickin' Culkin.
We got a Culkin. 2 Culkins, just like the second one.
We had no idea that Fuller would go from wet in the bed to crushing it in succession. Nobody was going to bet on that one.
That's true, yes. He was like a little Pepsi commercial in this movie.
Hey, I think it's your turn!
Okay, sure, I'll do it. Okay, well, have you guys ever seen Home Alone 2, Lost in New York? It's that. No.
But in Chicago!
But in Chicago! So, the movie follows Kevin McAllister, who is little Macaulay Culkin.
Kevin!
He is kind of rude, and his family is kind of rude, and everybody kind of hates each other, and it's weird.
Mm-mm.
But it's the night before we're all about to go to France. Yeah.
I don't think this family look alike.
Yeah, that's one problem with these people.
Sorry, keep going.
Many.
You're doing a synopsis. I gotta focus.
Okay, so, tensions are high. Again, everybody secretly hates each other. Kevin gets in trouble, and he gets sent to, like, the attic, kind of. That's weird. Then the power goes out, and the entire family almost misses their flight, but everybody gets up, and they get to leave, except Kevin. Fucking left Kevin at the fucking house because he was in the attic, because what? And that's the movie. So Kevin's now home alone. The family's flying to France. And then we've got two bandits, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, who, this movie, they're called the Wet Bandits. Not as good as Sticky. Not as good as Sticky. We'll get to my notes later. Just be ready, everyone. Yeah, they're like robbers, and they basically are scoping out this neighborhood around Christmas, and they're like, oh, all these people are going on vacation. We're gonna rob them when they're gone. And so they're under the impression that nobody's at Kevin's house, but Kevin's there, and then hootenanny shenanigans, torturing grown adults.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Scary neighbors who should help us a little more, but don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, Christmas, I think.
Wow, that was the best synopsis I've ever heard you do.
And then we learned something.
Oh, you're still going. You're still going.
Think,
okay,
no,
my bad.
It.
I thought
no,
you were
no,
done.
No.
Wow.
We're done. That's
wow.
it. It's not as good as the second one, guys. I don't know how else to put it.
An hour and 42 minutes. And when the shenanigans happen in the house is when there's 23 minutes left of the movie.
Yes.
So this movie to me feels like it's broken up into stages. First stage, a horrible family and we all hate each other. Second stage, you know what? Being at home when you're 8 and no one likes you kind of rocks.
Yeah.
Third stage, oh, you know what? This doesn't rock because I'm 8 and this is not good. And does anyone care? And why isn't anyone coming to save me? Uh-oh, I'm abandoned. And then fourth stage is, danger! Now I have criminals and I must protect the house and become a sociopath.
This is all within
What?
48 hours, by the way, just to point it out.
Can you imagine, like, Netflix today? They're like, that's at least 6 seasons right there. Right there. Okay, oh my god.
Fucking god, there wasn't. Oh god, that would have been so painful. Yeah, I mean, and listen, y'all. We can appreciate movies that, are iconic and do well and blah blah, but like, sometimes they get upgraded, and it's just, when I watch this movie, I just kept being like, oh, like, I don't like any of these people, and I don't feel that way about them in the second movie. I feel like they're a little bit more likable, but this family is like, everybody's just rude to each other, and I don't get it.
Beyond rude. And I believe in Home Alone 2 is when you introduced the Reddit thread that Macaulay Culkin, aka Kevin, turns into
Saw
Jigsaw.
Yes, this is his beginning
Origin
stages
story
of the serial killerness, his first attempted murder, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And okay, let's just get into it, right? This is the biggest house I have ever seen.
The biggest. Didn't you say you could win a contest and like sleep in here?
Yeah.
Where would you sleep? There's like 80 bedrooms.
I'd have to have like 1,000 cutout cardboard friends come and party with me.
Like Michael Jordan on a string. Yeah.
Oh my god, do you remember when Mom had James Dean and Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah.
And she had to mark her out the cigarette and James Dean.
You had told me that, and I never noticed that.
It was for a 5th grade, like, dance event about the
that.
50s. I was like, that's so weird.
Frickin' stupid. Yep.
The house is huge, and you look at this family, and you're like, okay, the dad and Uncle Frank are brothers. They don't look alike.
Def not.
That's fine. I get it. Not all siblings look alike. Okay. Then you have the incredible Catherine O'Hara.
Ugh, queen.
As the mom.
Thank God.
None of the kids look like each other.
Well, the one redhead Pete and Pete boy kind of looks like Catherine O'Hara.
Okay, I'll give him that.
That's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah, and Kate, I know you're a harsh critic with kid actors, but Macaulay Culkin's amazing, isn't he?
No, he's great in it.
He's so talented. But the entire beginning scene is just like running around a house with a bunch of siblings and family and chaos. And Joe Pesci's like, hey, I'm pretending to be a cop to like rob you. Did you forget that part? I did.
He's just in the house. I was like, did everyone forget about Stranger Danger? Because that was still a thing in the 90s. movies.
Can we talk about if a cop shows up to your house and someone had to let him in, okay? Would you stop and say, hey guys, you know there's a cop in the living room? Hey guys, you know there's nobody cared.
The only normal reaction was the two young kids who just stared at him in silence. And I wrote, that's right, children. That is a stranger. And you don't talk to strangers. Meanwhile, everyone else was like, yeah, someone's home. Yeah, we don't live here. Someone lives here. Yeah. And I was like, guys, no chill, no chill, no chill. I hate it.
I don't know. And honestly, I gotta know, when did Catherine O'Hara have her first kid? Because it had to be when she was 10. Because one of the children looked like they were 30, and Catherine O'Hara looked like she was 35. And I was like, what's happening?
I think the 30-year-old girl was not anyone's child. I think she was like a cousin. Because she goes, my parents live in France. And I was like, bitch, why are you here? And we're going to France. Who? What even? Like, did we just want this actress and we couldn't figure out how to fit her in? Jesus.
You know, if our family, if mom and dad were like, which just makes me die laughing, we're like, we're going to Paris for Christmas, and Uncle Dave and Aunt Chris are coming over with their cousins.
Oh boy.
And we're all gonna have this like chaotic house, and then we're all gonna leave in vans together. Tell me we would not take 6 cars to the airport. Tell me we would not sleep in 3 houses. Tell me we would buy different airplane seats. There is absolutely no way that anyone would organize having everything all together.
No, and okay, so the power goes out too, and then they literally are like, we're not gonna make this flight. It leaves in 45 minutes! Bitch, you live next door to the airport? Because why are you vanning there? There's no way. And then they roll up, and the lady's like, you made it in time. And I was like, bullshit! In Home Alone 2, we are a little more, gonna make it, and then we make it. So I don't want to hear it. Right? That's point number 1.
First off, I know where they live, and it is not 45 minutes.
No!
It's like close to me, Kate. It's like 10 minutes away, that house. But it's in the suburbs, and I don't know, pre-9/11, right? Like, no one checks anything.
The lady goes, sit wherever you want. Go on, get in there. I was like, damn.
Yo, and I gotta say, like, the parents were so awful. They sat in first class
oh my
while
God.
the kids were in coach on an international flight, and like, what?
And even, like, Catherine O'Hara was like, I feel kind of bad. And the husband's like, I don't. I was like, yeah, we know. You hate your children.
We're
we
pretty
get
aware.
it.
Yo, that was my theory with Home Alone 2, is like, I just think the dad doesn't care.
The
at
dad
all.
was not having a good time. Even when he saw the cop, he goes, what, am I arrested? I was like, you might be. Maybe you should be.
You all should be.
We should all be.
Do
I don't know.
you know what would have been the most beautiful twist? Is Joe Pesci's actually a cop that pretends to be an undercover burglar, and he sends the parents to jail for neglecting their children.
Honestly, Bridge, I mean,
who's giving us movie money? Because we're ready to make it.
This would have prevented all the serial killing, because Kevin would have been like, you were just looking out for me this whole time. My thirst for blood has been quenched. Thank you, Joe Pesci.
And he takes the gold tooth and he finds them, like he does like a teeth match. Yeah, I in the beginning, when they talk about how Kevin's so annoying, and Kevin, you're what the French call les incompetents.
What?
And they're like,
I love that
Kevin
part.
can't do anything. Okay, you deal with 8-year-olds.
Yes.
I mean, was he that incompetent?
Packing a suitcase, like, I can't even do that
Yeah.
now in my life. It's difficult, so I understand his frustration. And then everybody's just like, wow, Kevin, you can't do, like, a task that a basic adult isn't able to do? Wow.
Well,
go
and
fuck yourself.
what would you diagnos Kevin? Because once
Serial
he's...
killer.
Well,
Oh,
besides... So definitely sociopath, serial killer. But I think there's a little, like, OCD there because, he was setting up his extravagant dinners. He was putting stockings up, like, putting ornaments on the tree. Like, he had... I feel like if he was going to pack a suitcase, it'd be, like, 8 times folding. I think it'd be, like, an ordeal, so he definitely needed help.
So you think it's all stemmed from anxiety, and he's like, guys, I really can't do it. It's gonna, like, take a while, And everyone was like, fuck off, Kevin, and your mental health? Probably, because that's how America is.
Well, and even when he was like, Dad, I'm making you all ornaments. And he goes, yeah, what are you using my new fish hooks? And he's like, well, I couldn't use the fish hooks with the old guts on them. And I'm like, he makes a great point. He's also 8. So who's buying the stuff so we can make the crafts crafts that he's trying to make nice.
Maybe hide your fucking fish hooks, which are weapons, from children. I don't know. Just saying.
God, this is crazy.
I don't know. Joe Pesci, please arrest someone.
And then the obvious thing we have not talked about, but it is obvious, is if there was any form of technology like a cell phone, none of this wouldn't be a movie.
No. They would have had an Apple ID tag on Kevin secretly at all times, and then she would have been like, oh, wait, there he is, the little scamp. Found him.
He FaceTimes from his Apple Watch. He's like, guys, I'm fine. Stay there for the week. Bye. She's like, I'll talk to you at lunch, honey.
Yeah, have fun. Yeah. So we get this movie's version of Pigeon Lady, which is Old Man Marley, who Buzz gives us this absurd fucking backstory, which again, in our Reddit thread, this is where Kevin's, interest with murder and death and mummifying bodies came from, because he hears this story from Buzz about literally a nice old man who doesn't fucking bother anyone and is shoveling the snow. And Buzz is like, actually, he fucking kills people. And Kevin's like, whoa. What?
I gotta say, in both Home Alones, Kevin becomes the therapist for these isolated old people.
Absolutely.
He did it for the Pigeon Lady.
Nobody's paying him, all right? He needs to learn to charge people, right?
He did it. He told the Pigeon Lady, he goes, I feel like you're thinking about that wrong, and I think maybe you should reevaluate your situation.
Isn't that where he tells a fucking story about like roller skates or some bullshit?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm poor, so please don't talk about your material.
He's like,
items,
I never
sir.
took them out of the box because I was too nervous to get them all dirty. And so as you can see, correlation is not causing. No. But with the old man, he's like, I don't know if that thinking possibly is outdated. All right, another thing we have to talk about. How many chances could adults have saved an 8-year-old?
Thank you. Bridget, this goes back to the PowerPoint. Everybody look at the slide. Home Alone 1 to Home Alone 2. Home Alone 1, all of these fucking adults know this little young child boy. In Home Alone 2, it makes sense that nobody knows anything because it's New York City and we're all traveling and we're all moving about, okay? You see? You see it? Makes sense? Doesn't make sense. Smart? Stupid. Tim Curry? Shovel dude.
It's wild.
It's not the same.
To me, first it's the grocery store woman checking him out, and she's like, where's your mom? Where's your this? And he's like, oh, mom's in the car. Never questions it. She's like, oh, great answer. Moving on.
That's normal for an 8-year-old.
Then we have Old Man Marley. I love that description.
That's his name.
Talking to him too. He's never asking about anything.
Yeah, he literally is like, you better get home. Go on, even though you're sitting here in church alone at like midnight or who the fuck knows what time it is. Bye. Have fun. The random Santa man, which Kevin literally said, I want my family back. I'm sad and alone. And Santa's like, go on with that. Here's some Tic Tacs. Bye.
If I poured my heart out to a fake Santa and then I got 3 Tic Tacs, I'd be like, I hope your car doesn't start.
And I also hope those are Tic Tacs because I'm worried about it. Okay.
Wow. Okay, so he goes through this phase of like, I made my family disappear. And then he was like, and then he did, I think, what everyone does when they live alone, kind of for the first time, where they like just dance around and they like sleep in their parents' bed and then they like eat ice cream and they order pizza and they just watch whatever they want. And like, again, this could be a whole series for Netflix. This is like a whole season. And it was fun.
Like that part, I'm like, I could see this being like a Disney Channel show of like, that's the premise, how somehow every episode, like we get left home alone and it's like just silly things.
Yeah.
But then like, it turns to like burglary, murdering, torture people. And I was like, oh, wow, what a combo. Not...
It twists quickly because I was having a good time and I was like, where's Richie Rich Macaulay Culkin? Because we still have time for trampolines. We have time for like, he added that catapult. Yeah, he added that rope, right?
Yeah.
With his crazy scheming. Why couldn't we do that in fun time? Why couldn't we have funsy time with that?
That up, by the way. I don't know. Yeah, and then like just going in like his brother's room. I'm like, that's amazing. That's great. That's absolutely what people do.
Jimmy, since you don't listen and your best friend John's gonna have to tell you.
Confession.
One time, Jimmy used to have this black safe. And he had
Bridge.
stickers of like planets on them.
Okay.
And he would put money in there or whatever, but he would also put like notes from girls. And I read one, and I think we were in like middle school.
What even? What?
Because I was like, ooh, what does he
That's
keep in
amazing.
here? I'm sure he'd murder me if he found this out. So John, you could let him know.
Wow.
And it was like the stupidest thing. Like, it was like, you're so cute, and like, do you want to go out? Circle yes or no.
Oh,
and,
Jesus.
and
Ben 15 style.
And I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. Oh my God, if Jimmy finds out. And I like never went in his room again. That was my wild go into my brother's room.
I'm glad our brother did not have
Come on. Wait, you never did anything like that? Come on. Fess up.
Not in Jimmy's room. I'm scared.
You're
I'm so
afraid of
scared.
him. Yeah, we're all
So
afraid
scared.
of him. Yeah.
But he was also a lot older than me. I probably at some point went in your room and did.
Yeah, that's what
stuff.
well, come on. What'd you find in mine?
I don't remember.
Oh,
it was not a
Kate.
core memory.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
You didn't have any shotguns or Playboys, you know? So I don't remember. But also, thank God, because what? Even?
I also liked that they didn't sexualize it. Like, he opened the Playboy
Absolutely.
and he's like, ew, everybody's naked. I'm like, that's an appropriate.
And he
8-year-old
immediately
response.
throws it away. I was like,
Yeah.
thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Because had this movie come out in the 80s, I don't know, but I feel like we just got over that year, so maybe it was a little better. But
it would have been like a hubba hubba line, and we all would have thrown up in our mouths.
Oh, his exact quote is, "No clothes on anybody. Sickening." This is where he finds Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. Buzz, you should be proud of who you date. You should put their picture next to your bed.
I agree.
Like a normal person. Don't
I
be
agree.
ashamed of who you love.
Yeah.
Buzz, also, I'm scared of your tarantula, and is it gonna hurt me? And that's another piece of why Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone 1, because Home Alone 2 does not have any tarantulas in it.
Katie, I thought you were a lover of all animals, because I thought this tarantula was having a blast. It was like going on literally a great adventure.
It had its own Home Alone movie happening. It's like, my owner's gone! Yeah!
Can you imagine the movie of Home Alone from the tarantula's perspective?
Actually, that sounds like pretty awesome.
Yeah,
We should make
I
that.
know. We should totally make that.
Because then I don't have to see the tarantula. It could just be like a POV the whole time.
Well, I just feel like I'm going to name it a he, and I just feel like he had like a humor, because anytime something silly happened, then he would like crawl out of the scene. I was like, this tarantula's hilarious.
He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's like, hilarious. Moving on to the next one.
Kevin, I don't think even realized he was like out. Like, did Kevin even know the tarantula's like running around the house?
No, I don't even know.
He didn't know until he put it on Daniel Stern's face, which was funny. Anyway, okay.
So now then it starts to turn kind of like, we got some wet bandits. No stickies. Wet bandits.
Wet is lame, not as fun. Sticky is funny. Sticky gets stuck. Sticky is thing in the Santa bucket.
Well, you kind of forget they're wet, because I guess their thing is they just like let water run in the houses they rob. Also, for like a big house that they had, there wasn't a lot of stuff to rob in it.
No.
I didn't get that. There wasn't like a safe, you know, like how we just watched Die Hard, and it was all about the safe. And I'm like, when they go in these houses, what do they find? Like, I'm so confused, because like they're really out in the open, and it's Christmas time, and most people are home.
Well, Joe Pesci was like playing with like a motorized car, and I was like, Joe Pesci, are we just like, we want a Christmas experience? Is
Bizarre.
that, what do you want?
Oh,
what's
do you think
the real
Joe
motivation?
Pesci didn't get a chance to have Christmas?
Kind of.
Wow.
He was like, I need to believe, like the Polar Express. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of happening. Kevin doesn't call the police, but at this point, his mom realizes, holy fuck, we all left Kevin. I'm, for some reason, gonna be the only one who's guilty about it, even though there are literally like 15 other people who I would argue should have took notice, and we all should have shared guilt, but no, I'll take all the guilt. It's great.
Moira would have handled that differently.
Moira would have literally been like, David, he's with the Amish, David. He's a babe. Yeah, so then they're like in France. So she's like, we gotta call everyone. And she fucking calls the police. And it was like a really bad SNL skit. And I hated that.
The guy
so much.
kept eating donuts that was falling on the phone.
And the lady was like wrapping a Christmas present. But I was like, bitch, you at work. Why'd you bring that to work to wrap? What do you mean? Why?
I feel like cops were made fun of a lot in the 90s.
You know, I did think of that because I thought of Die Hard, where I was like, wow, remember when the FBI were like fucking dumb?
Yo.
And the only good cop was Carl Winslow?
You know who would have picked up the call? Carl Winslow. You know what he would have done? He would have gone in the house. Now, I'll give that cop that did go to the house and was like, hey, I knocked on the door. Like, I can't like break down the door. So I was like, all right, at least they sent somebody, you know?
I guess, but I was like, you know there's someone there. What do you mean? Like, if someone was like, there is a little kid who's home alone alone. I need a wellness check, because that is a thing that police are expected to do, you know, if needed, and they don't answer, then you would be worried and be like, uh-oh, the kid's dead or it's kidnapped. Shit. And then you should, like, do more stuff. But instead they were like, anyway, back to Donut.
That's a really good point.
I hate it.
Wait, do you think Kevin should have drove the car? Like, would an 8-year-old want to drive?
What?
Sorry, I was just thinking about, like, why didn't he drive?
They did leave the garage open, which they mentioned, and I actually did wonder if the car stuff was gonna come up at all, like if he was gonna, like, run over the bandits or something ridiculous, but no, not yet, at
Okay,
least.
sorry, we're getting distracted. But this is when he does the funny scene where he does the cardboard cutouts to show there's, like, a lot of people at the house.
He does. I can't even keep track of the fucking, like, train of events, but he basically is trying to make it seem like there are people home. Yeah. And he, like, scares off the robbers at one point. Then at one point he orders a pizza. The fake movie he watches is not as good. I'll fucking say it. They don't say Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, and a Happy New Year. They say keep the change or some bullshit.
You filthy animal.
Not as good. Not as good. Not as Christmassy. No Happy New Year's for you.
I don't think the pizza delivery man deserved that.
Well, I felt that way at one point, but then I also had a flashback to the first time we see him where he is literally, like, swerving in the road speeding, and I was like, you know, maybe he needs to not drive anymore.
That was because the side of the car was like, we deliver in 20 minutes or your pizza's free. That's what I thought they were trying to be funny about.
Bridge, this is a family neighborhood. Old Man Marley's out there every night shuffling. Like, it's gonna be a hit and run. I'm just saying.
Hilarious. Okay, then we get, where the hell are we at in this movie? Then we get to what?
I don't know. He shoplifts at some point, and again, all the adults should care more. They don't. He literally went, like, over the river through the woods to get to that store, because at one point he's, like, running away and he runs over, like, an overpass of a fucking train. It's fine. Then he almost gets hit by a car, which is the bandits. And then that's when he sees the guy and he's like, you were that cop, but now you're not a cop and I'm suspicious. And then I don't know. They're stalking.
Well, I feel like they're just really bad at trying to rob places because they keep doing it in the daytime.
Yeah, and they're, like, use the same sketchy van. I feel like, I don't know, wouldn't people notice at some point? And they didn't,
like, they would have, like, fingerless gloves and, like,
dude,
no masks.
I literally thought it the whole time. I was like, yo, your fingerprints are all fucking over, bitches. Like, again, in New York, everyone, there's so many dirty fingerprints. It's the perfect crime. You'll never be able to identify one pair. But in someone's home, you will. So,
and I'll be honest, at this part in the movie, I was like, okay, we get it. Kevin's sad, and now he's, like, buying fabric softener. Like, this is depressing, Kevin. No, you're 8.
And then his grocery bags, like, fucking break.
I know.
I was like,
that. Okay, that Netflix series would have been like Kevin becomes an adult and hates it. And I feel like I was getting a little bored. I was like, all right. And then, Kate, 23 minutes left in the movie is when the action starts. And this is the most intricate, elaborate, defend your home, like, supervillain game I've ever seen. He had a giant crayon. What do you call that?
A map of death? Death schematics? Torture things? Plants? I don't know. But I just want to point out, in the Saw movie, which we did review, episode 10, that guy had his own fucking death schematics with his torture machine. So, hello.
Well, this is where I go back to, I think there's a little OCD there. I think there's a little bit of, like, I'm very organized and put together. But I don't think that he did well, because he should have had his mac and cheese before he starts, like, really hurting them. He didn't plan that well.
No.
But what was your favorite torture?
It was the not torture, which was the feathers. That just had such good comedic timing, and I think I was like, oh, finally, someone's not, like, getting brain trauma to their head or anything. Great.
I think Marv's scream when the tarantula was on his face was the funniest freaking thing in the world. And I thought he screamed so loud, I was like, isn't that gonna go in his mouth, this spider? Because he is screaming so loud and, like, the biggest. Yeah.
That's in our tarantula movie. That's what the tarantula's like, The camera's like shaking and it's like, I gotta get out of here.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
But it's just chaos. And I feel like, God, I don't know why I keep thinking about Die Hard, but like, Marv's got no shoes because he's got a nail and tar through his foot. He's stepping on ornaments and has an iron to his face. Joe Pesci's top of head was blown off.
Yes.
And then his hand was burnt. And then they both got hit in the face with paint cans. Like, they would be dead, right?
They would have died way early.
Way earlier. And then the water on the stairs. Let me tell you, in Chicago, you're not getting up those stairs. No way.
No way.
But you know what I did notice a lot was like the stunt people.
Oh, you could like tell it was stunt people.
Could you tell?
Honestly, that's where I was zoning out a little because I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't have to like be staring at this intently.
Okay, I felt like I kept getting distracted because I was like, wow, Joe Pesci, look at that.
There definitely were stunt people because I'm sorry to bring it up again, listeners. Take a sip, but there is a Movies That Made Us episode of this movie.
Oh.
And they do interview the stunt people and they actually talked about how for this movie it was like the kind of like falls that they would do were like very unique. And they, from now on, stunt people refer to them as like Home Alone falls, where they like do the woo and your feet go in the air and you literally just like fall on your back. That's
what?
Like,
no one had ever done that
I'm
before?
like, it's not really originated from this movie, but I guess they were just, I don't know, had a lot of opportunities to do that in the movie. So.
Wow.
Yeah, very interesting.
So simultaneously, Catherine O'Hara is taking the worst Expedia trip of her life.
It's gonna get a 1-star review, for surely.
Okay, she goes to Paris and says, I gotta go to Chicago. And they're like, there's no flights.
They're like, no.
And then she bribes an old lady and a man with lots of things.
It was not a fair trade.
I hated that.
No,
and then that got her to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Texas, she went to where?
Scranton?
I'm just gonna tell you on a map, Kate.
Yeah.
If you go straight up from Texas, is that closer to Chicago or Scranton? Actually, maybe Scranton's is closer now.
See, Bridge, this is good you bring this up because this is a good time to go back to our PowerPoint. In Home Alone 2, everyone, we don't need to do the plane riding bullshit. We go from Florida to New York. The end. That's all. Dunzo. Okay? Okay.
Also, in my mind, this movie could have just been shorter and she could have just like got
so
home faster.
Much. Yeah. But they need to get John Candy because John Candy.
If you watch the honest trailers of this,
they're
God. Like, and all of a sudden, John Cameo shows up. And I was like, that's amazing.
I also feel like in the Movies That Made Us episode, they talked about how there was never an original plan to have John Candy, and then one day he was like, yeah, I'll come in the movie, and they're like, John, we'll pay you, and he's like, nah, just give me like $20, whatever. So he like didn't even get like paid, and he just like did it for fun. And you're like, John Candy,
what?
Are you okay?
Is that okay? Is that why you went on that ridiculous polka rant? Because I gotta tell you, Kate, I was gonna like gouge my eyes out. I was like, is his line still about polka? Because like, what?
It was.
What's happening?
Listeners, do I need to say it, or do we all know that there's no polka in the second movie? Okay, just had to, excuse me, get that out. Yeah.
And then I gotta tell you, if I'm Catherine O'Hara and some guy's like, bam, I could drive you home with my polka band. And I'm like, whoa. Scranton to Chicago. I'm gonna say like 10 hours, 10, 11 hours.
God, could you imagine?
Of polka?
No.
They have to have a break at some point.
Also, that's how you get like human trafficked. So let's not get in vans with people we just met in the airport. Thanks, everyone.
But in my mind, I'm like, wait a second. Catherine, if they can rent a van, you could rent a car.
Catherine, you have a lot of money. I don't know if you know this. I don't live in a mansion.
We could have even done this from Texas. I don't even know. What's happening?
John Candy Bridge, he needed to make his $20. So we had to do it. I also want to bring up how there is a part, and this was kind of, I guess, somewhat replicated in part 2, but I will, of course, bring up why part 2 is better when we get there. But we go to a fucking church.
Well, here's the thing. I get around the holidays. Do your thing, people. Go to your church. I love it. It's great. Our mom used to make us do the choir stuff, whatever. But I don't know if I believe an 8-year-old's going there.
And I don't know if I believe all the adults being like totally fucking normal. Totally normal. Kevin by himself, normal.
I love that Old Man Marley was like, were you really a good boy? And he's like, not really. And he goes, well, that's why you come here. I'm like, whoa!
Whoa! Hey!
Just because you're
whoa,
bad
the
people
movie
doesn't mean you
scene.
show up. He could just be like in the concert, no?
Yeah, guys, because Pigeon Lady is not trying to push her beliefs on Kevin in New York City. They weren't even at a church, they were at a concert hall. Hashtag upgrade, okay? Also, just want to
they were
point
at
out...
Carnegie Hall. That is an
Yes,
upgrade, okay?
Absolutely an upgrade. Also, just want to point out, he's like, yeah, that's my granddaughter in the choir. And they're literally singing, like, some generic-ass fucking Christmas song. And I'm like, that's not what they sing in church. That's not what they sing. Bridget and I know what gets sung in church because we had to fucking do it. You want to know what they sing, listeners? Mary had a baby, oh my lord. Mary had a baby, oh my lord. I know it sounds like Sister Act, but yeah, that's not a Christmas song. That's
our
song.
poor little sister Mary.
She was probably Kevin's age, and thank God she didn't try to, murder all of us in the
Were
home.
we like buzzed to Mary?
I mean, probably.
In that moment we were.
I think we were.
And I just remember how mad Mom was. She was so mad at us laughing.
It was so funny.
So hard.
I regret nothing.
I don't know if I regret it either. But here's the thing though. With this character, and Kevin becomes his therapist, and then he's like, you know what, little 8-year-old, you're right. I've been thinking wrong about this for 50 years. I did kind of tear up at the end.
I did too. It's sweet.
When he was hugging his granddaughter, I was like,
yeah.
I mean, Kevin's
in the snow.
Kevin might have a gift, you know?
You know, if only he used his powers for good and not death, murder. Because then he turns his psychology to, are you gonna cut off your foot or let everyone you love die? That's psychology, you decide, okay? This is therapy, all right? Thank you.
The fact that he, after these movies, went to the good son, I was like, yeah, man, that was the progression for Macaulay Culkin. People were like, yo, this kid is wild. But listen,
oh my God,
I'm
I hate
gonna knock
the
on
good
wood
son.
because, time is a thing we can't control. But up to this point, Macaulay Culkin is not the same psychopath as he is in real life.
No!
I remember I always say people act like, they just play themselves. Unless he's secretly like a mass murderer we don't know about. I think he's just like a nice guy that has a child and a wife and just kind of lives his life normally.
Yeah, I think things are smooth, so good for you.
And when I was looking up who he was married to, I then got down this rabbit hole that him and
he's
Mila...
married to a Disney Channel former star.
Yes, who I can't think of her name.
Brianna... Something.
But the point of what I was going to say is, he was with Mila Kunis for 8 years.
What? I never knew that.
They dated forever.
Holy fuck. Oh my God, did Ashton Kutcher home wreck?
No, but I think she cheated or something. And then eventually she went to Ashton, but how about that for a weird duo? Am I right?
That's so weird. I would never in my life put those two together. I wanted him to date Cassandra from Saved.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome. Yeah, they definitely had chemistry.
They totally did.
So I'm proud of him for just he's got a pretty wild life and he didn't, I know he had his years of kind of crazy partying, but he kind of ended up being a normal person. So let's give it up for Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Clap it up.
Way to go.
Clap it up.
You did the best you could.
Yeah. Now, stop clapping because we're getting back to why Home Alone 2 is better. And I would argue Home Alone 2 is better because, he gets saved. Eventually, he gets caught by the bandits after he tortures them for 20 minutes. It's very quick torture. And then he gets, hung on a, coat rack.
Yeah.
Not Texas Chainsaw style, thank God, but, just his clothes. And then literally Old Man Marley now decides, now's the fucking time I'm gonna step up and help. And if we compare, listeners, to Home Alone 2, Pigeon Lady was not keyed in to the place that Kevin was doing his torture. Whereas Old Man Marley, he knew where Kevin was, and he could have just literally looked out his window and said, oh shit, that 8-year-old's being robbed and attacked, and maybe I should help. So what the fuck? Old Man Marley, okay, what the fuck? You were just in church? Is that what a Christian would do? You wait till the end to give a shovel a hit? Okay.
Wait,
please.
if we, with the Netflix series, if we flip to Old Man Marley, is he just on a really long phone call with his son? And that's why he's so distracted, not helping Macaulay?
His back is turned towards the window facing Kevin's house the whole time.
And he went, turn around,
I guess. All I know is if Pigeon Lady was there, she would have fucking thrown those birds. She would have got the birds involved way quicker. Okay? Okay.
Pigeon Lady was better.
She was so much better. Piers Morgan was so much better.
If you know the meme, you know. And then here's where I think it gets even weirder. We finally get home, Kate. If I leave my Kate and I come home and she's been home alone, I am going to squeeze and hysterically cry and run up to her and be like, I'm the worst person ever. I'm so sorry. I love you so much. And what did Catherine O'Hara do? She just like tiptoed in and was like, nice stockings. Love the tree. And she's like,
look at the tree.
Hi, Kevin. And then eventually she's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, I'm not fucking hugging you till you apologize. And then she's like, oh, sorry. And then he's like, yay, now we love each other. And then literally, he's like, where's the rest of the family? And she goes, they couldn't make it. And then fucking Disney Channel, like, the music kicks up, and then they kick open the goddamn door, and they're like, here we are! We just got our cue from Chris Columbus to walk in. Let's do it.
His dad still didn't care. His dad was like, you're right, kid.
I don't even think his dad hugged Kevin. He's like, hey, Kevin, sup, bitch? We're back, I guess.
And
I
then
don't fucking know.
5 minutes later, he's alone again.
They all disappear. It's a weird one, guys. In Home Alone 2, listeners, Kevin actually chooses to go be alone because he goes to visit Pigeon Lady, which is better than his family abandoning him. You think I'm done with these comparisons, but like, there's so many more I could do. But I'm getting close to the end.
Tim Burton is a really good character.
Who? Tim Burton?
I'm sorry.
Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
Old Man Marley?
No. Home Alone 2, the hotel staff guy.
Oh, Tim Curry.
Sorry, Tim Curry.
Wow, I'm so thankful that was not Tim Burton playing that character.
I think Home Alone needed a funny, nosy neighbor that he kept, like, outsmarting.
That would have been funny.
Tim Curry really made Home Alone 2, for me, really funny. And also Rob Schneider. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That would have been good. But
you've been sleeping with everyone.
Sleeping with everyone.
You, Lou?
It's a lie.
It's a lie. It's not me.
That's so fucking good.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then the movie ends with, Old Man Marley, I guess, fixing his family. Like, that's what the movie was about.
I didn't tear up when they came back for Kevin, the main character. No. I teared up for, like,
Old Man Marley. I was like, thank God your life's good, because poor Kevin, shit, he's got a lot of years left of this nonsense.
Oh my God, I can't believe he gets left alone again. He doesn't even know. I mean, I understand why he turned into Jigsaw.
Yeah, but at least he's a little bit older when he gets left alone, and he has money, and he's in a fun place. I do love
New York.
I'm gonna stop.
And this is, like, he's in Chicago, but not really. He's in the burbs. And, like,
he had to, like, hitchhike to the fucking, like, 5 and 10.
He's in the all-white, wealthy burbs.
Yeah, well,
which, I'm telling you, when I drive around there, I'm like, wow, these are like castles.
You're like, look out for Old Man Marley and Uncle Frank, am I right? Yeah, Jesus.
How is Old Man Marley living on that block? Like, what was he, like an old CFO? Like, how big is his house,
We don't know, Bridget.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. I mean... All right. What?
So let me guess. So wait. So what you're saying is Home Alone 1 is better than Home Alone 2?
No. Home Alone 2, we all need to just get on the same page, is an upgrade in so many ways. And we love nostalgia, but I'm sorry. No, this one has a lot of problems.
I think this is more an adult movie than it is a kid movie.
Yeah.
And
I think one's like that.
I think having your kid watch it, it's a little violent, but it's silly and fun, and who cares? Don't overthink it. The plot's stupid.
And listeners, if you would like to see a movie version of the tarantula having its own Home Alone experience while Kevin is also doing it, let us know and we'll start a GoFundMe page. And
I think we can make it like a cartoon and have like Seth Rogen do it.
That would stop. And we'll even be like, Seth Rogen, you can be high the whole time.
And like, I want the voice
Snoop
to
Dogg
be
should be the tarantula. Oh my God, that's even even better. Wait, Bridget, you have to go on Instagram because I sent you Snoop Dogg like narrating National Geographic. Did you watch it? It's so
God,
good.
I love Snoop Dogg so much.
He's amazing.
I had no idea that later in life I would fall in love with Paris Hilton and Snoop Dogg. Like, I didn't see that one coming.
Who knew?
You know, but 2022 is wild.
Oh man, what a day!
I think we covered it. Watch it or don't watch it. But guess what?
What?
It's time for the next movie. It's set in Paris. No kidding. So it's
well, next week is our nostalgic happy hour.
It's nostalgic,
Yes.
and we've just been doing whatever we want.
Woo!
And as part of that, I wanted to add in something that's great. I'm taking the dog, dumbass. And that is not that movie.
Oh.
It's a trick.
That's nostalgic for sure, but okay.
It's a trick. But the second season came out. I haven't shut up about it.
Woo!
And you finally let me know you watched it. So what are we doing? White Lotus Season 2.
My Zoom was literally like, are you trying to play music right now, bitch? Because what's happening? Okay.
Aubrey Plaza.
Jennifer
Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
Christopher
Moltisanti. Oh, God, I wish Adriana was there, but I get over it. Just want to give a shout out. Well, one to you because of all your, persistence with watch this fucking thing. But I do want to give a shout out to my good friend Stevie.
Oh.
Stevie Wonder Stevie, because he has sent, I'm not kidding, at least 40 different videos of people randomly dancing to the White Lotus theme song for season 2. Or it's like someone was dancing and then they put that music in the background. And yep, I think that helps.
I'm not kidding. I don't think I have ever not skipped an intro. Maybe Sex in the City back in the day when I wanted nostalgia.
Well, yeah.
But this intro song never skipped once. I was like,
it gets so chaotic. It's really fun. It's great.
Also, Mom watched all those episodes.
All of them?
Home. Yep.
Oh my God.
And then, of course, her and I couldn't figure out how to get the finale on the TV because we missed the timing and it had already started. And
Jesus
so
Christ. Okay.
somehow she watched it on her phone and so did I. So maybe, Kate, we could get like a line from Mom.
Oh, like Mom's like feedback? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. I can work on that. I'm good. Oh my God, it's gonna be good. I have things to say.
I can't wait.
Wow.
It was psychological.
There's a little psychological things happening.
And I want to go to Italy. And I want to hang out with that hotel manager because she's funny.
Valentina. Yeah, she hangs out with kittens. I was like, fuck yeah, Valentina, that's cool.
Peppa Pig.
Oh my God, so many things. Well, Brit, just want to say, if you ever left Kate home alone and you guys went to France or whatever, I don't know, I would go get her and I would then bring her to New York and I say, Kate, here's the deal. This is actually where you should be when you get left alone. I will stay with you because you are a literal infant, but we're going to have a good time here and let's go see Tim Curry.
You dress like a pigeon lady and you have a camera and you're like, all right, Kate, and action.
And she's just like, I hate everything.
Well, Kate,
Bridge,
if somebody dares say Home Alone 1 is better than a Home Alone 2, I will just simply send them this episode and say, my sister Katie disagrees, and here's all the reasons why.
I'm ready to debate it. Who would like to do so?
I
I'm
want
ready.
to support you and I love you.
Thank you so much. Wow. And listeners, if you also know what's up with these movies.
It's like Mighty Ducks 2. That's better than Mighty Ducks 1.
It is. Okay? There are some sequels that slap. What can you do?
The Quack Attack is back, Jack!
Ooh, girl. Oh, Flying V. Okay, Knuckle Puck. Sorry, I had to get that out. Where am I? Okay, so listeners, if you know about those things, and you know about this thing, and you are happy for Macaulay Culkin living a normal life, we think.
Oh my God.
You should write us a review.
Hey!
We love reviews. reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. We are moving out of the holiday season, and then we don't have a theme. Unless I think of one and force it on us. But I probably won't, because, winter, whatever. So, yeah, if you have a recommendation, get on there and do that.
Get on there.
Get on the list. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee, which is really money. And then we'll give it to poor Kevin to go to therapy and eventually pursue his degree in therapy to be a therapist.
Kevin definitely has money from his
Never
affluent
mind.
parents,
We're good. We'll keep the money for us so we can
give
make
him
the
to Pigeon
tarantula
Lady.
movie.
Or
her.
Or the tarantula movie.
All right.
Okay,
But
okay.
what we also have is merchandise. And it's so epic. And you need to go on there and you need to buy it. And Katie and I had kind of an eerie thing happen before we started where
it was very ghosty.
It was very ghosty in another room. Our Sisters Who Seen It wine glass fell on the ground. And now I need new merchandise. So go check out the cool stuff that's on there. Buy it. The holidays are around the corner and you didn't get that gift. So you better get on it.
Yeah.
I mean, just enjoy it. We love you.
Yes. Yes, so check all that out, listeners, and we hope to hear from you. All right, well, we'll see y'all next week for our nostalgic happy hour with the White Lotus Season 2. Oh my god, Bridge, I'm just gonna let you know now that I kind of feel like Portia. So, that's a preference.
Well, honey, we gotta change your outfits, am I right?
Good. I loved her outfit. I wish I don't dress like her, but...
Do you know these gays?
You got some cute to wear, got some cute.
These are some high-end gays. Oh my god, she's so absurd.
Fucking love it.
Wow.
All right, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
See you then. See you in Italy. Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.